How's it going? I want to give you guys a overview of my system here. It's the EcoFlow Delta Pro Ultra, commonly called the DPU. First of all, I want to say all this equipment is paid for by myself, with the exception of the top battery here. Thank you, EcoFlow, for sending me this battery through the DPU Talent program. I was very generous of them, and let's get to it. So starting off, the high PV voltage is coming in through 8 435 watt panels that are on a pergola, and then for the low PV voltage, you can see these two breakers here that share the low voltage. I have 3 400 watt panels that are on the fence, not optimally placed, but they do get pretty good sun in the morning to the afternoon, and then at nighttime I'll flip this off. I'll turn on the black breaker, which then I can discharge my stack of server rack batteries here, and it usually is around 780 watts. So I do that at night. That way you can take care of the system, during the nighttime. Moving along, I have a smart breaker here, Tongu, if I'm saying that correctly. This allows me to dump excess voltage or excess wattage when the batteries on the DPU are full. I'll give you a little demonstration. Alexa, turn on charger. So you can see, allows me to put an additional 1700 watts. Alexa, turn off charger. Moving along here, I do have my computer set up on here, dehumidifier on here. Very important, especially if you're keeping your equipment in a basement. Humidity, high humidity is a killer of electronics. And then for redundancy, I have my router modem on a backup, because one time I was like, I need a firmware update, and I killed the Wi-Fi. I couldn't do the update, so a little bit of redundancy is great. This is an old thing I had on my fish tank that I don't have fish anymore. So moving along is the 12 circuit Nature's Generator transfer switch, which I have 10 circuits on there. Haven't fully decided what I want to put on the top 2 breakers just yet, but give you an overview of what is on there. The dryer, power hungry dryer that uses 5300 watts running, the washer, and then the basement office, which we're in right now, the sump pump on the other side of the basement, the family room, which is the second half of the basement, and then one kitchen outlet. This house is wired very weirdly. So you got the bedroom, the hall, and the bath. That's all on one circuit. As I said, this house was built in the 90s with multi-branch circuits. The master bedroom, the second bedroom, and then the living room, where everyone is sitting down playing PlayStation, TV's on all the time, then obviously the lights. This has been working phenomenally for me, and as you see here, I got rooftop solar as well. But yeah, so far this thing has been running since October of last year. I run it continuously. I don't do peak shaving. I run it completely as like an off-grid system, and it's been shaving just sub $200 off my bill every month. Since I've got to, I would say, peak efficiency of my setup here. I didn't start like this. I'd started small with 8 panels, 1 battery, and 1 server rack battery, and 1 laundry load drained my entire battery. So as tax season came in, got a little bit extra funding, was able to build this up. And yeah, in a state that charges me 27 cents a kilowatt, I am shaving about 60%, and I am going to show you a Excel sheet that I made that I've been tracking for the last 12 months of my bill. So if you could take a look here, I'm gonna pop it up. Yeah, I've been averaging, high 200s, 300s. I had a peak of 400 in the summer. That $400 bill was the breaking point where I said, I need to do something, and I started digging on solar quotes, way too expensive, and then a couple people on YouTube kind of guided me on the DPU. Home Depot had it on sale, and being next to a tax-free state, I was able to get it tax-free, so saved me a couple $100s in that. And like I said, it's been working flawlessly. I haven't had any issues with it, and it keeps saving me money. So if you like the video, go ahead and give me a like and stay charged.